The Celtics Talk podcast is presented by 24autogroup.com. 11 locations across New England.
We spent 77 games obsessing about the Boston Celtics' late game execution, their struggles to convert in crunch time moments, particularly when trailing in the final seconds of a game. Who knew that all along the answer was to just make sure that X going to give it to you, get the ball to Xavier Tillman, and get out of the way. At least that's the way it went on Friday night, as in a scramble situation, Xavier Tillman makes the game winner to lift the Celtics and their second and third teamers past what should have been a desperate Sacramento Kings squad in a 101-100 win. What's up, everybody? POSTGAME POD 77. And I don't mean to just race past a rare game winner for the Celtics. And it was a fun moment for a group that typically, you would not see it in end-of-game situations, but found a way to pull it out. We'll talk more about that in a bit, but I do think we need to start the post-game pod with my favorite moment from this game, which was, I believe it was the third quarter. Kristaps Porzingis makes a little hustle sequence, getting on transition, getting fouled, and going beyond the baseline. Fans are going delirious, including one fan who just happens to be holding a sign that says Latvians ball harder. Perfectly placed. She picked the seat in the right spot because here comes Kristaps Porzingis, and he's glowing and exulting to the fans, and the fans are losing their mind. And it was just another sort of encapsulation of the Kristaps Porzingis experience, how much joy he brings on and off the court. In this game, he brought a lot of joy to the tune of 20 points on 7 of 10 shooting, 11 rebounds, 2 steals, a block. When he was out there, he was excellent. The Celtics seemed to make it a point to be force-feeding him at points throughout this game. And let's face it, every game seems to be the game within the game, with everything locked up now, with home court secured for the duration of the Celtics playoff stay, best record, 14-game lead in the Eastern Conference. So they've worked on stuff from zones to coverages and switching. And tonight it just felt like there was a concerted effort to make sure the ball found Kristaps Porzingis, which was probably a nice idea to reaffirm that, because Celtics have sort of gotten away from that a little bit. Maybe it's just less prevalent than the start of the year, when sort of it dawned on the Celtics like, whoa, we could just throw the ball to the tall guy. When the offense is bogged down, it's going to make something good happen. Felt like tonight was just, an opportunity, especially without Derek White and Jaylen Brown, to offer a reminder of how good this team can be when they try to take advantage of a smaller Kings team. Sure, Sabonis is out there, but KP can shoot over the top of just about everyone else on that team. And the Celtics made a concerted effort to take advantage of that. Thought it was just that little, planting that seed, because when the playoffs arrive, which I can't believe it's still over 2 weeks away before we'll actually see a playoff game here in Boston, but gotta let the play in, play out. Still got 5 regular season games to go. I'm okay with this all because we get more Mike Gorman, but the Celtics need to be able to take advantage of that Kristaps Porzingis matchup, mismatches in most cases. Teams are going to put so much attention on Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum that Porzingis is often going to be in single coverage. He talked about it in the locker room. You'll hear that coming up, where it's his opportunity to take advantage of those situations where he takes it personally. Like, oh, you're going to cover me with that forward who I can just shoot right over the top of. Oh, you're going to let me get to the blocks and get to the spots I want to get my shot off. Oh, you're going to leave me open beyond the three-point arc. So this is why Kristaps Porzingis was brought in. He has completely embraced the situation. The Celtics fans have completely embraced him. I got a chance recently to catch up with Al Horford, and we were talking about just the season as a whole, and the roster that has delivered the Celtics to the best record in basketball. And he made it a point. He said, Brad just knows what we need. And clearly, when Brad made the difficult decision to move on from Marcus Smart, but acquire Kristaps Porzingis in June of last year, the goal was to diversify the roster a little bit, to find new weapons that could help the team when the offense goes stagnant. I don't know if you knew just how good this would work out. I think you're hopeful when you watch someone like Porzingis and watch his game blossom and watch how impactful he was even for a bad Washington team last year. But it's been a really seamless fit, and you can tell the joy that Porzingis has playing for a championship caliber team, how much he wants to win. And fans have certainly recognized that if the Celtics are going to achieve that number one goal and bring back Banner 18, Porzingis is a key part of all of that. As for the finish of this game, look, if you're upset that the Celtics kicked away a 19-point lead and actually fell behind for a possession or two, I don't know what to tell you. Like the first off, the Kings should have been desperate. They should have found a way to win this game. And two, I love that Joe sort of said, all right, reserves, go figure this out. The reserves were great in this game. Were a big reason you were even up that big to begin with. And, sort of challenging. And not Hauser, Tillman, Pritchard, O'Shea. Get to the finish line of this game. Go. We're not going to save you here. The league goes away. Figure out how to win. And I thought it was telling that Sam Hauser, on a night where he was 1 of 18 shooting, not so Banner 18, he's the one that stays with it in the final seconds, forces the strip that gets the ball to Tillman and sets the whole floater into action for Tillman to hit the winner. Those moments, I don't know if necessarily any of those guys will be in that situation for the remainder of the season. Certainly in the playoffs, you would think that it'll be the main guys out there. And I mean M-A-I-N, not no E at the end. But I do think there's value in those guys being in a high-pressure situation, because even if it's just a 3-minute burst in the second quarter, you need those guys to help carry this along, to help sustain leads, to not be overwhelmed by being thrown into those moments. And at the end of this game, Xavier Tillman, Sam Hauser found a way to get it done. All right, here's more of our post-game coverage.
Payton, Sacramento is fighting for their playoff lives. How did you guys close this one out? Take me through those last few possessions.
Shoot, they made a big push right there. They started hitting. We missed a couple of shots, but we took care of it at the end of business. X hit a big shot, so put us over the hump.
How valuable can those experiences be? We saw Jordan on the floor as well. These moments for you guys. It's good. It's good for us. I mean, we just keep growing, learning from experiences like this, and keep growing our game. So when the time comes, we can help the team. You now hold the franchise record for 5+ threes coming off the bench. What kind of flow did you find here?
I feel like I was in good rhythm. My middle finger is a little bit better. It's been jammed up a lot the last couple games, so today it felt a little bit better.
We talked at halftime about working on things. What are you working on personally these last handful of games, knowing you're going to get some extended run?
Just figuring out how to win games and, controlling the tempo, the pace, finding ways to, affect the game and obviously lead our team to win. So,
got win number 61 tonight. Payton, thanks. Congrats.
Thank you.
Let's bring in Scal now, back at the Garden. Scal, obviously we got to start with late game execution here for the Celtics and the fact that they were able to get that game win from Xavier Tillman. Out! In all seriousness, though, he's clearly getting it. He's having a great time. How does this feel, though, for those guys that are on the floor, for them to be able to make the plays down the stretch, Xavier Tillman in particular, to get that game-winning shot for those guys to have that opportunity?
Yeah, because you're going to sleep better at night than him making that shot. Remember, let's be real. You were touting our late game execution. They went on a 16-1 run, Tom Giles. So, but it's finding a way. And when that happens and you lose, the next morning you wake up and you know something's wrong. When that happens and you win, you move past it and you get back to work. So, yeah, I think it was a big play. And I think more than anything, give Sam Hauser credit for knocking that ball free. A lot of guys who have a rough night, can't knock down a shot, get blocked at the rim, and all of a sudden give up on a play. He stuck with it, knocked the ball free, and Tillman, had a really nice move into a soft touch.
Yeah, and look, since Tillman's come back from the injury, same deal. I think he's been a little bit up and down, maybe not as crisp as he was when he first got here. And a moment like this matters, thrown into a tough situation, makes a play, gets you to the finish line of a win, feels better about himself. Those things can snowball for a guy who should probably find his way into the playoff rotation. Scal, more importantly, we were talking about Kristaps, how good he was out there. What did you notice from him out there?
Yeah, he really is unguardable with this team. And if you put him in a situation where he sets a flare screen, people are going to go to Jason Tatum. He takes advantage of it. It is it's almost as if the coaches are just saying, you know what? We have to stop Tatum. We have to stop Brown. We have to stop the Celtics three-point shooting. We can't get blitzed on those plays. So what's happening is Porzingis is taking advantage of it. And I don't think they've made adjustments to it. They're not double-teaming Porzingis. They're keeping him one-on-one, and they're leaving smaller guys on him. So unless something different happens, I think the coaches are probably going to say, if anybody can beat us, it's going to be Porzingis. And I like the way the Celtics are force-feeding him the ball and making that happen. And it doesn't seem like that's going to go away. And I don't think that coaches will make different adjustments if they haven't already.
All those guys have played a significant role in winning games the entire season. And when guys have been injured, they've stepped up. Everybody on that floor has started a game for us this year, I think, or have played significant minutes. And so it's just a testament to them. And whoever's on the floor, I always feel like we have a chance to win. I feel like it's important. Those guys are no different than anybody else. They've won games for us in the past. They've started games for us. Everybody gets treated to the same level, the highest level, and you have to be able to win games with different guys. And I felt like it was important that in that particular moment that they earned the right to do whatever it took to win the game because of the work that they put in. So I had no problem doing that.
Was it like watching the second unit close it out late and Xavier get that shot off?
It was good. It was good. The Kings made a run at the end, and Fox is always so clutch. Hit that three off the backboard, made it, went up, and then X closed it out with that little floater. It was pretty cool. I think it helped. It's it's good for our team chemistry, those kind of moments, and seeing Joe all hyped up on the sideline. It was pretty cool and a good win for us.
X, take us through the last play. Would you see, or the go-ahead bucket?
Who took this? I think Sam was driving for him to get the game-winning shot. Somebody came over, maybe Murray blocked the shot, but then Sam got the steal, tipped it out to me. I caught it, saw that the paint was open, made a crossover move. They stepped up, and then I shot the float.
Did it feel good?
Oh, yeah. It felt good. As soon as it left my hand, I knew it was good, yeah.
Do you have many game winners?
I got one in college. Yeah, that might be it.
What did it mean for you guys, that reserve group, to be able to close that game out, knowing everything that Sacramento had on the line?
It was pretty cool, though. It was pretty cool, especially for us to really battle with them coming back and have that mental fortitude to not kind of give into it and to stay solid mentally and everybody keep their composure and stuff like that. Shout out to Payton. He was holding us down with that and kind of talking to us and keeping us cool, calm, and relaxed.
What did Joe say to you guys? I think he called timeout when it got down to 9. Were you guys expecting to maybe hold there, and when he sent you back in, what did that kind of say to you guys? And what was his message during that?
Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Just keep managing the game, keep space on offensive end, and take the shots with confidence. Nothing crazy.
Xavier, when was the last time before tonight that you had a go-ahead shot?
I think it was in Illinois, my junior season. I had a tip dunk for the game winner.
This is college.
This is junior last year in college, junior season. Yeah.
What did it mean to see the reaction from your teammates on the bench?
It was sweet. It was sweet, especially because like you said, we're not necessarily playing for anything anymore since we're already solidified. So for them to still be excited about that was pretty cool, for sure.
And the way that Joe coaches, for 48 minutes, everybody, no matter who's on the floor. How What does that do for you guys?
Yeah, he's the ultimate competitor. So for us, it makes it easy for us to know that there's only one job when we go out there, and it's to win. However you could impact the game, like that's your job. So it makes it easy when you have a coach who, no matter what, just wants to win. You just kind of find your role within that and how you can help the team.
How have you enjoyed being coached by him and getting to know him in the time you've been here now?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. He's when I say he's human, like he's not big-headed at all. He's really like humble, really down to earth, really like allows you to build like a real relationship with him, and he's really authentic himself. And doesn't really hold back. So it's really cool just to kind of, be authentic and not have to hold anything back to try to, be a people pleaser or anything like that. So I really enjoyed it for sure.
Joe said this was like the perfect environment for practice. So like, what was it like having the pressure, close game at the Garden, people yelling? What was that environment like?
It was great, getting the opportunity to do that. I feel like because it was crunch time, I was really locked in because obviously the crowd was loud, but it wasn't like I was like zoned in, so it didn't really faze me much. But it was great practice for what we're going to go through as far as like having that mental fortitude. You're up 9 or maybe at the time up 12 to 14, feeling comfortable, and then they're knocking the lead down. Like, can you do what you can to stop the run? That's what it's about. So we were able to get it done.
How tough is it to execute when you're with a group of guys that you practice together, but you're not in that situation together much? How did that hinder it? Did it hinder it? And how did that help build the chemistry for it if there's a next time?
It definitely built the chemistry. Either way it went today, win or lose, it would have built the chemistry. Just getting the opportunity to be out there in crunch time minutes with one another and getting to learn different guys' tendencies. Like, okay, does he want the ball here, or where do people want the ball? Who is that defensive stopper that we're going to call on? Hey, you're going to guard the primary guy. I think no matter what. Like I said, no matter what would have happened today, that moment would have helped that group just build more and more confidence. Like, next time we're in the situation, we know how to handle it,
X, how do you feel like you've settled into your role on this team?
I think I've settled in pretty well as far as being a defensive stopper and as far as being a screen setter, space in the corners, being able to shoot and stuff like that, and then crashing the boards as well. I feel like I've kind of learned my role and I'm able to execute it, when I get my opportunities.
And then what are you looking to do in these last handful of games, knowing that reserve group will get some extended run here?
Really still looking to just keep developing. So for me, being able to continue to space the floor and to focus more on that and being more unconscious through these next couple of games so that it kind of just flows into the playoffs instead of being hesitant or anything like that. So that's one. Continuing to use my voice and finding my voice on the team and being able to help on that, especially on that defensive end, and put people in the right positions and being able to communicate and stuff like that as well.
Next up, I'm not really excited about the game. Portland's in town on Sunday night, 6 p.m. tip. But here's what I am excited about. I think Robert Williams has been on this trip with the Blazers. I think there's a chance he'll be sitting on the bench for this game. Even if he's not, I hope the Celtics take a minute to acknowledge his efforts here in Boston and what he meant getting to the 22 finals, being a part of this core, being a tough part to have to move on to from in order to get Drew Holiday this offseason. Malcolm Brogdon will be there as well. He hasn't played. I don't know if he's been traveling. One guy I do know who's traveling is Delano Banton, who has been pretty much fantastic through the month of March and into April. The Banton revenge game will be the Forsberg key to Sunday's game and avoiding it precisely. So another chance here for the Celtics to figure out a reason to be motivated, to play the game within the game. We'll see who's available for the Celts, but I'm sure Joe will have an area he wants to focus on, and we'll see if the Celtics can not only get some work on that, but find a way to keep the wins stacking. 61 wins now. 61-16. Kind of impressive. Really impressive. We'll be back with you here on the PostGame Pod on Sunday night to react to anything, including any potential Robert Williams tributes. Until then, go like, subscribe. Before the Celtics play on Sunday, I believe the main Celtics are in action earlier in the day, or maybe it's tonight. They've got the Eastern Conference Final against Florida. So I will be super intrigued to see how that goes. I suspect Jordan Walsh, despite his call up tonight, will get a chance to go play for that team. So the Maine Celtics, that was really fun the other night, watching them win their semifinal game and against Delaware, and now a chance to punch their pass to the final, the best of 3 series. All this experience for the end of the roster guys, whether it's a night like this against Sacramento or the G League experience, I just can't help but think that's beneficial. We'll talk to you guys on Sunday night.